When I was in the relationship, I didn't know what the signs were. I didn't know that him calling me stupid was only the beginning of an abusive relationship.
Since I'd never been in a relationship, I didn't really know what to expect.
He'd get, verbally abusive, and then he'd get physically abusive.
I cried for hours on end because of the things he said to me. I knew that I was in a relationship that wasn't normal, like it wasn't supposed to be this way.
I just kind of rationalized in my mind that, things will get better.
I gave up school for him. I gave all my money. I gave up my virginity. I gave up everything. It hurts too because I trusted him, and I did it foolishly, but I did trust him with my safety, I never thought anyone would do that to me.
It was supposed to be love. It was supposed to be everything that's involved with love.
Hey everybody, it's your coach for Christian life. Welcome back. When last we were together, we were talking about my very own horrific domestic violence and abuse experience. And I got some wonderful feedback. I got some great comments. Thank you so much for taking the time to comment. Did I get yours? You didn't see it? Okay, no. When you finish this video here, you're going to want to go back and you're going to see that video, because I'm telling you, I'm going to reference that video in this one. So we don't want to, we don't want you not to be along with us on the ride. We want you to be on the journey. So to make sure you don't miss any future videos, what I've done is I've put that subscribe button right there on the screen. So if you're looking at me, you're looking at the subscribe button. So make sure you subscribe, and that way you will never be out of the loop and you can always keep up. So what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about teen dating and domestic violence and abuse. And unfortunately, it is still prevalent. If you remember in my own story, I talked about the fact that when this all got started for me, it was at the age of 16 and 17 years old. And I'm thinking that relationships are supposed to be a certain way. Just like the young lady said in the video, I didn't know what to expect. I'm thinking that it's like what TV shows. TV shows us that, there's all this romance and there's all of this people treating you nice, and the man is going to be nice to you and he's going to take you out on dates and show you good times. The young lady talks about, it started off with him, calling me names or him saying mean things to me. And, I just took it. And unfortunately we do, because we always think that it's going to change. And we like to always fantasize about how things are going to start off beautiful, because aren't they supposed to? Don't they always?
There was a boy, and I was in middle school. It was mysterious.
He complimented me. He said that he really liked me.
Right when I saw her, I knew I'm gonna date that girl.
Snapchat, go.
Okay. Here you go.
There it is. There's all the fun. There's the laughing. We've probably taking him or her to meet mom or dad, and we're bringing him around our friends, and he's picking me up and he's carrying me around, and we're hugging and we're kissing and we're playing. And now things begin to shift a little bit. Remember, I told you, and I'm telling you again, this stuff starts off very subtly. And because we're living in La La Land, we really don't pick up on the signs. Because we don't know. Because we don't pay attention. Because we think that everything is just momentary. That they just did a little something here or a little something there. And then before you know it, wow. Do we really know what the early signs of domestic abuse is? Because remember, before it's violence, it always starts off with domestic abuse.
Things kind of started.
It began to be emotionally and mentally manipulative.
He started controlling me and telling me what I could wear and what I couldn't wear.
You need to text me at all times. I need to know where you're at all times. You're not smart enough. You will never make it in life. You will end up just like your mother, cleaning houses. He knew how to put me down.
She degraded me with names. Why are you being such a Why are you being such a Pretty soon you start believing that about yourself. And so then I began to act that way. I began to let her walk all over me. Instant gut feeling that she was not good for me. I didn't listen to that gut feeling, and that was where it first went wrong.
Hey.
We made plans for this a week ago, and you're just gonna ditch me again?
I mean, I wasn't.
I'm so sick of this. You do this every time.
Okay, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I don't want to fight. We can just hang out. It's fine. It's all fine.
It better be.
I thought that stereotypically that the men were the abusers and the women were the victims, but I never thought about teens. I never thought about young people. I felt stuck. I felt like I didn't have a voice.
I'll tell my girlfriend, oh, that's good. He's jealous, right? That means he really likes me.
I thought you weren't gonna wear that.
No, I didn't want any boys to see you in that dress.
I know, but my mom gave it to me. What was I supposed to do? Oh.
I don't.
Here's the problem about changes. Because we've introduced them to our friends, because we've taken them home to mom and dad, because we don't want to go outside of that fantasy that we have pictured in our minds, because we don't want to reverse all of the things that he or she has done right. We stay silent. And the changes and the abuse are hidden. The violence is hidden. And that's what makes it so scary. Because we don't talk. We don't talk. I was there. Remember my story. As bad as it had gotten, even at that point, I never said a word. And you have to wonder, why don't we talk? When I go back into my own psyche, I didn't want to be embarrassed. I couldn't talk to my mother. I couldn't talk to my father. I just couldn't. It wasn't because of them. It was because of me. I couldn't reveal that I had actually let someone treat me like this, and I did nothing, and I stayed. This is a prevalent problem because we don't. You find very few people, whether they're adults or teens, who actually will speak up and let people know what's going on. Just like the young man said, he was caught in a stereotype. Only men beat on girls. Girls don't beat on men, do they? Of course not. That's one of the biggest things that will keep us silent, because egos are in the way. I'm a teenager. It doesn't happen to me. That only happens to other people. Remember? We talked about that. But guess what? It does. And unfortunately, this is what we have to face. I have a question. Parents, are we making ourselves available to our young people, to our daughters, to our sons, to our nieces, nephews, next door neighbors, children in the church? Are we making ourselves available to them so that when they're experiencing this, when they see the things shifting, that they'll talk? Problem is, nobody's talking about it. I know they're not, because everybody seems so shocked when you see these videos, when you hear these stories. But we have to ask ourselves, what did we do? Did we make ourselves available to help them out? We have to get inside of their psyche, and we have to ask, what makes you stay? Why don't you leave? We have to encourage them that, listen, there are no reasons for you to stay. And the only person that allows it to happen and encourages the abuser is you. The ultimate advice that we need to have for any teen person that's in an abusive relationship is get out. Not only get out, but get out now. Not only get out now, but get out fast. We must encourage them to get out. I want you to go back and I want you to think about the things that I said in my early video, about the things that I endured, about the things that I accepted, about how I walked back into a relationship that was extremely abusive. I can't tell you definitively what was going on or why. I can tell you some of the things that I think I thought back then, but you got to listen to the video. You got to watch the video to find out. It's really important that we encourage everybody to leave. It's not a joke. I hope you're watching these young people in these videos describe the things that they heard, the things that they felt, the things that they thought it would be like. That's real. And your teen could be experiencing the same thing. But we need to let them know that God has a plan for their life. And there's no reason why they need to accept that. I need you to subscribe. So I hope by now, throughout this entire video, that you've subscribed. Because I'm going to tell you something. 1 out of every 4 students are being abused right now. Which means that's somebody you know. And if you do not subscribe and we do not stay in communication, you will allow someone to possibly end up like this.
I don't remember how all of this started, but with everything that's been going on, I really don't see another way. I don't see how I'm gonna get past this. I'm just so tired of all the abuse. There's no hope because I don't have another way out. Like, with all the stuff going on at home and with Tim and my family and my friends, I just don't see another way out. So